Great to see all of you here tonight, and thank you, Ken and Marta, for all that the CCA does to keep Canada engaged with the key actors and focused on the issues and opportunities for Canada in the Americas. Did I get that right, Ken? Okay, good. That's the last thing you gave me that I'm going to actually speak up using your notes. I'm a textual deviant. Someone got that. Oh, Tim Murphy. Yeah, I knew you'd get that. Look, I'm honored, and I'll be uncharacteristically brief in honoring Nancy Southern tonight on behalf of CCA and on behalf of all of us. We are celebrating Nancy's leadership in Latin America, but before that, I'd like to reflect on Nancy as a person, as a friend, as somebody I admire, and somebody I look up to. Canada's business community is the most progressive business community in the world. And some of the best Canadian companies, in terms of leadership that really improves the lives of others, are multi-generational family companies with a purpose and on focusing on doing what is best for customers, but also communities and for Canada. And no family does it better than the Southerns. And Ron and Marg, in their generation, laid a foundation that Linda and Nancy and their families continue to build on to improve the lives of others in Alberta and across Canada, and now in the Americas. Leading by example for over 75 years, ATCO has really exemplified corporate social responsibility and ESG before those acronyms were being thrown around. And nobody exemplifies corporate citizenship better than Nancy Southern. Now, make no mistake about it, Nancy is also a results-driven CEO, and over a 30-year period, ATCO's long-term returns have bested Berkshire Hathaway's. So ATCO's shareholders have done well, while ATCO has done good, enabling prosperity and opportunity for its customers, its employees, and the communities it serves. And again, ESG and the movement around greater purposeful corporate leadership is something that we in Canada, and certainly our bank, BMO, takes very seriously. But way before that, long before people were talking that talk, Nancy was really walking the walk. And whether it's from partnering with Indigenous Canadians to economically empower and create economic reconciliation in communities, or building one of the most diverse leadership teams of any company in Canada at ATCO. And forgive me for a moment, but it is Pride Month. And Nancy's leadership in Canada and in corporate Canada has done a lot and sets a real example for diversity, equity, and inclusion. When I started my business career and political career back in the 1990s, there were a lot of barriers for people like me. Not all of them were written out, but it was a challenge. You see, I was gay, and in fact, I still am. But Nancy, no, I know I always make Francois Philippe feel a little uncomfortable sometimes because he doesn't know what I'm going to say next, and nobody does. But Nancy, I've never told you how much it means to me today and over the years to be able to work with and partner with your senior leadership, which includes people like me, and people you mentored and inspired and to whom you gave a chance. Nancy's exceptional leadership as a CEO has inspired and helped break down barriers for Canadian women in business and, in fact, politics. Nancy was the first woman on the board of BMO and is an honorary director of BMO. Now, speaking of politics, I could always count on Nancy when I was in government to get good advice as a minister. And I mean that because the advice was always informed by Nancy's passion for Canada and her rare combination of an understanding of government and business. Francois Philippe is another rarity in that sense because he is an elected official who understands we have a market-based economy, which I think is a good thing. Sorry. But Nancy's unique understanding of both business and government has enabled her to make an invaluable contribution to Alberta, to Canada, and to the countries that ATCO serves, including in Latin America. Nancy's a learner. She's got an innate curiosity, open to ideas, and she's also got the courage to pursue opportunities in uncharted places globally. And that curiosity and courage are hallmarks of Nancy's leadership in Latin America. Leadership, I would add, that in two of the most important sectors for the future of our hemisphere, energy and infrastructure. Nancy is, to quote the late, great Tina Turner, simply the best. She is Finally. Thank you, Francois Philippe. I appreciate that. It's a tough crowd. She's exactly the kind of leader that Canada and the world need more of. She is thoughtful, kind, respectful, reasonable, smart, and purposeful. And when you think of how much Nancy has accomplished from her place in the private sector, her leadership role, imagine for a moment what Nancy could accomplish as a leader in government. Now, I know I'm supposed to honor you, Nancy, but I got to tell you, and I think there'd be a lot of support in this room, this would be a great setting to launch your political career. And I mean, here at the Four Seasons in Yorkville, the epicenter of middle-class Canada, I used to, Trudeau's cabinet was our plan for the middle class and those working hard to join it. BMO Wealth, BMO Capital Markets, our plan for the middle class and those scared to death of joining it. So I've had to adjust a little bit. Sorry. But Nancy, and Nancy, you're a hell of a lot younger than Joe Biden. Sorry, not to pick on Joe Biden, that seems unfair. Nancy, on behalf of this CCA, in fact, on behalf of everybody in this room, and if I may say on behalf of Canadians, thank you for your service to Canada and to the world. On behalf of Max and me and Rose and Claire, who you'll see in Spruce Meadows in September, thank you for your friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming to the stage the recipient of the Canadian Council of America's Lifetime Business Achievement Award, Nancy Southern. got this part. I don't have a lot of staff anymore. Here we go. Wow.
I told you he'd go off script. This is an artwork called Magic Hour by the artist Nikotai Samayuali of the Community of Women Artists in Cape Dorset Island in Nunavut.